Okay, let me just try and make you a co-host and then you can present. Okay, so I've made you a co-host so you can share your screen and...
Let me calendar.
Yes, we can see your screen. Yeah, so all yours.
Okay. So today, we seem to have quite a number of reports of high importance. However, the one relevant to our pair is we've got Germany, we've got the Euro area, which is at 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Which are put at 10 o'clock. We've also got the UK, which is at 7 o'clock. Actually, the employment change.
Yeah. In an hour.
In an hour. So, let me change refers to 3-month moving average compared to the previous period in the number of people. Okay. So, yeah.
Anything to do with employment figures would affect the markets.
Would affect the market. So.
And they've also classified it as high.
Yes. So we've got that. And we've also got the Euro area and Germany, the economic sentiment index, whatever that is.
Now the key now is that there's something. I'm going to teach you something else today about the economic calendar. But I will start by asking you questions. So when would you place your first trade? Looking at the economic calendar today, when will you attempt to place your first trade?
So minutes before 7 o'clock.
A minute before 7 o'clock.
Before the UK employment change report comes out.
Okay, because you're trading Euro US dollar.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
US doesn't have. We don't have any. The one for the US is a medium. Is of medium importance. So.
Which currency pair are you trading?
Euro US dollar.
So which of the reports coming out today will have more of an impact on the currency pair you're trading?
The Euro area.
Yeah, and that's at what time?
At 10 o'clock.
So what time would you have your first attempt at the market?
Sometime before 10.
Okay, so that's the ideal, because the ideal is, but this is actually what I want to show you, that's the beauty about trading. The beauty about trading or even investing or anything is that there's no hard and fast rule, because what I've taught you is the basics, the foundation, but you can play around with it. And this is how you can start playing around with what I've taught you. You start to combine things together. So this is a good example for today. So ideally, you're trading Euro US dollar, like you rightly said. So you're looking at reports of high importance coming out of the Eurozone or USA that would affect your currency pair. So today, the one that will have the most impact is the Euro area and Germany report at 10 o'clock. So ideally, you don't want to trade before that. But what are your other options if you want to place your first trade? Because you mentioned it earlier, So number one, the best and safest thing to do is to wait till 10. But you have other options. You don't have to wait till 10. So what are you, don't let me answer the question. But what are your other options? When could you when could you also possibly place your first trade?
I could go ahead and like assess the charts and place my trade before 7.
Okay, so give me the rationale behind that. Why you want to do that? Again, remember the whole. I don't know if you remember during the course when I said the most important question is to ask why. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? So it's the same thing I'm asking you. So what is the rationale behind your decision in placing your first trade at 7 o'clock instead of 10? So you have to justify your decision now.
Because of the impact of the kind of report it is,
Mm-hmm.
it would affect the well, because of the type of report it is, as an employment change. Yeah. I don't know what I know I'm not explaining myself well, but
Okay. Don't worry, I will explain. But you're getting there. But this is the good thing about doing the presentation, which I commend you for, Sam, is because that way you learn quicker when you go through all this. Because there's no better way to learn than actually doing it. Okay, let me ask you another question. If you place your first trade at 7 o'clock,
yes,
and you lose on that first attempt, what will you then do? When will you place your second attempt? Will you place your second attempt straight away?
no.
So when will you?
I'll place it after. Is that I don't attempt at all, or I'll place it after, as in like I'll wait till the next report comes out at 10.
Exactly. Okay, so you're getting there. That's good, because that's the good thing, and this is how you mix up everything I taught you. You remember I said you have 3 attempts a day at the market, isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is always the premise you start off your trading with. Okay, I have 3 attempts at the market today to hopefully make some money. Like we said, if you place your first attempt and you make money, you stop trading.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, you go to the second attempt. If you make money on your second attempt, you stop. If you don't, you can go to your third and final attempt. So you have 3 attempts a day. So basically, you as a trader, you're now asking yourself, okay, how do I use my attempts? And this is where, like I said, there's no hard and fast rule. You decide. Of course, it makes no sense to use all your 3 attempts before 7 o'clock,
No.
before yeah. But this is where you can play around with, because again, this is where there's no hard and fast rule. But again, like I said, the key is you have to have a rationale behind your decision making. Like we said, there's no always or never when you trade. So anything can happen. So like we said, there's a high probability of the markets trending sideways prior to the last report of high importance. But it's not 100% guarantee, just a high probability. And the last report of high importance today is at 10 o'clock London time. Now, there happens to be a report at 7, although it's not directly impacting the Euro-US dollar market, but it's United Kingdom. And as you know, United Kingdom is the financial capital of the world. So there could be some indirect impact on the Euro and the US dollar from the US unemployment report. So at 7 o'clock, when that UK report comes out for employment change, which is a report of high importance, there is a possibility it could move the Euro-US dollar. Okay. So there's that possibility, but it's not a guarantee. The market could just trend sideways, but there's a possibility. So because there's that slight possibility, and I have 3 attempts at the market today. Okay, this is not, it's not a bad idea to have my first attempt at that time, just in case that report moves the market. So I could have my first attempt then. And like you rightly said, if I lose out on that first attempt, it makes sense to save my last 2 attempts at 10 o'clock when the last report comes out. So this is another good thing I'm happy we can show you today, because sometimes, I haven't done it yet on the platform because I don't want to confuse people, but that's what I do sometimes. I might place a trade before the last report of high importance, but because I haven't had the chance to explain it to you guys on the platform, I haven't posted it on the platform when I've done that. But this is just to show you that, yes, you have 3 attempts, you then decide how to use those 3 attempts. But again, it goes back to, there always has to be a rationale behind any decision you make. That's the key. But the good thing is that there's no hard and fast rule, but just making sure that, but you can see it's just me combining all those basic and factual information I've given you and trying to apply it on a daily basis to what the circumstances is for that day.
Yeah.
It's just like the other week when we discussed about the US non-farm payroll report coming out on Friday, and we said the market would just trend sideways for the whole week because of that huge report on Friday. And then we're going to only have 1 attempt every day. So you can see trading is very dynamic. You have to take all the factors into consideration. And then decide how you want to play and attempt your trade.
Okay. Great stuff. Okay. So now that we know that, let's go to the platform. You can't see my platform, can you know?
You got a chat on another screen.
Okay. That's weird. What's this? Let's see what this is. Can you see it?
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah. So, from these, it's definitely trending sideways within the pivots and S1.
Yep.
So I need to draw the
not necessarily, because like you said, it's it's between the pivot and S1. So
okay.
And the pivot, like you said, the pivot is outside the sideways trend, and S1 is outside the sideways trend. So you're okay. But obviously you can't place. Oh, sorry, I should keep quiet. So when are you going to place your trade?
Please give me the expo. So at this point, this market doesn't look fine like that. But I will place a buy trade above the pivot.
Now?
Right now, no.
Exactly.
Oh, there's no trading opportunity at the moment.
There is. You can buy above the pivot point.
There's a sell opportunity on the S1.
There's also a buy, because you can buy above the pivot point.
Yeah, well, that's what I said initially.
But would you do that? Would you place a pending order now?
No.
Why?
Because like I said, we'll wait till 7 o'clock for...
Exactly. Exactly. So that's what I had to catch you out with, because that's why we went through the economic calendar.
Yeah.
So like we said, we're not going to place our first attempt till 7. So just before 7, just like we did when we did the US unemployment report. So about 10 minutes before the report at 7,
Yeah.
you then come and assess the charts again, and then that's where you just have to see what the market looks like at that time, and then decide at that time where to place a trade.
Okay.
So for now, we're not going to place any pending orders. We're just going to leave it alone. And we assess 10 minutes before the report comes out at 8, the first one.
Okay.
But obviously, I'll post something on the platform there.
All right.
But yes, well done. Sorry?
I said this market has not been cooperating on recent.
No, it tends not to. It tends not to. It can be stubborn. Okay. So thanks a lot, Samiat. Well done.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
You've taken control?
Yes, okay. I have.
All right.
Okay. So thanks. So I'll just do a quick summary of what Samiat has done, which is wonderful. So like we said, as usual, you start off with the economic calendar, and we've just highlighted the importance of going through the economic calendar, because that's what helps you decide when and what time you're going to trade. Of course, always make sure you use the correct time zone. Obviously, Samiat was using GMT+1, because I'm in Rwanda, so I'm using GMT+2. So wherever you are in the world, make sure you first check, use the correct time zone. So this is all GMT+2 times that I'm using because I'm in Rwanda. Like I said, wherever you are, you make sure you use your own time zone. And like we said, we're trading the Euro-US dollar. So the main report coming out today that would affect the Euro-US dollar is the economic sentiment index coming out from the Euro area and Germany. Again, like I always say, if you're new to trading, you can read about the report, what the report is all about. So if you just click on the report, some information will come out that you can read about the report, and it will tell you what it's all about. Of course, you can always Google the report. Google now, you can get all the information you need. So for today, the last report of high importance, because of course there's one at Russia, coming out from Russia, but that doesn't concern us, so we can safely ignore Russia. So the last report of high importance coming out today, directly affecting the market we're trading, which is the Euro-US dollar, is the report at 11 a.m. GMT+2, the economic sentiment index from the Euro area and Germany. Of course, Germany is the main powerhouse of the Eurozone. Okay, so with that in mind, ideally, you'd want to avoid trading till the last report of high importance directly impacting the market you're trading. And since we're trading Euro-US dollar, ideally we should wait till this report before we trade. But because this UK report could potentially move the market, because it's the employment change report out of UK, and UK is the financial capital of the world. So that could indirectly impact the euro and the US dollar, and it could potentially move the market. So for today, we could potentially have our first trade around that time. So about 10 minutes before that report is due out, we'll then reassess the market, look at the charts, look at potential entry points in the market, and place our pending orders at that time, but not before then. We'll leave the market alone till then. But we'll reassess 10 minutes before then, and then place our pending orders. And then if we lose out on that trade, and we lose out on our first attempt, then we'll stop trading and then wait till this last report before we have our second and possibly third attempt in the market. So that's the plan for today. So like Samiat said, looking at the charts now, you can see where it was trending down sort of last night. Sorry, not last night, yesterday afternoon. So yesterday afternoon, let me make it slightly bigger. So you can see where it was making lower lows and then lower highs. So again, you can tell again from the basics of the trend where it was making lower lows and lower highs. So it was downtrending there. So kept on downtrending, and of course you can see where it stopped then went sideways at that point. And again, it's not surprising it went sideways at that point between 9 p.m. and midnight. So again, that's what you need to watch. You know, we say the market tends to trend sideways between 9 p.m. and midnight. So that's what's happening between 9 p.m. and midnight. We're just going sideways. And then you can see at this point where it dropped and then started to go up again, and now it's going sideways. So you can see the market is comfortably trending sideways between the pivot point there and the first support. And the pivot point is outside the sideways trend. The first support is outside the sideways trend. So those could be potential entry points. So we could buy above the pivot point or sell below S1. But like we said, we're not going to place our pending orders now. We'll wait and see and reassess just before the report at 8. Oh, well, 8 my time, 7 London time. And like I say, I'll post. Okay, Samuel, let me just quickly show you about the time and stamp about on the platform, and this will probably help everyone too.
Okay.
Samuel gave a very good suggestion about being able to know the date and time of post on the platform. Come on, my internet shouldn't mess up now. It's getting slow because you. Oh, I should have logged in before. Let's try again. Oh, good. Okay. I posted it on the platform, but it might be much better to demonstrate it. Because if you hover with your cursor over the date of the post, it will show you the time, the date and time. But that's what I want to show you. If my internet allows me to do that. But yeah, if you hover over the date and time, okay, get in there. Good. Okay. I think my internet is trying to wake up too. Okay, brilliant. All right, so when it comes up, this is. This is why we need the 5G. Okay, now we go. So this is what they say, kids. If you see, so
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So if you put over the date of the post, if you just hover over it, then we'll show you the date and the time.
Okay. All right.
So let's go to some older ones.
Well, I guess maybe because I'm using my phone, it doesn't show. You can't hover on your phone. So
oh yes, yeah, you might. Yeah, maybe when you get onto your platform. So yes, if you just do that, like this one.
Yeah, so I hardly log in via my laptop. It's usually via phone.
You can try and tap with your finger and see what happens if you use your finger over the posted. But this is, yeah, but you can see, yes, over that's how you get the date and the time it was posted.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Thank you.
But obviously, with the pleasure. But obviously, with the much older posts.
Yeah.
So let's go to the much older posts. If you go to topics, and then you go to the much older ones, and the dates are there for the much older ones, without you having to hover it. when my 5G comes. So, so if you go to the much older ones, the dates are there. But the more recent ones, you then have to just hover above it. So you can now see from here, you can see 4th of August, 3rd of August, the much older ones, the dates are there. But the more recent ones, yes, that's what you have to do, is hover over the post itself, the date it was posted, and you will see the exact date and time.
Okay, so with the one on the phone, it still shows, even with the much older one, it still shows like 60 days ago, 1 week ago,
Yeah.
thereabout. So it doesn't show the date.
So you might, I think if you want to see the date, you might have to then go to the onto the web. Yeah.
Okay. I was hoping it was something available for the phone. That's fine.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Pleasure. Any questions, anyone? Any questions before we all go for breakfast and get ready for the reports in half an hour? If you have any questions, you can either raise your hands